Did you know that the average person only uses 1% of their potential to learn new skills? That's right. Most of us are barely scratching the surface of what we're capable of. Imagine if you could unlock the full power of your brain and learn any skill faster and more effectively. Well, you can. What if I told you that you don't need 10,000 hours to become an expert, like many believe? Instead, in just 20 hours of focused practice, you can start mastering new skills, from leadership to coding to public speaking. That's not a dream, it's a proven strategy. In this video, we'll uncover the real secrets to learning fast and learning well. You'll discover how to build a mindset that turns challenges into growth, how to stack skills for maximum leadership power, and why feedback loops and hands-on problem solving are the key to supercharging your progress. So, are you ready to unlock your full learning potential? Let's dive in. Your new skill set starts now. Chapter 1. The Mindset Blueprint. Mastering the skill seeker's psychology. The first step to learning any skill is developing the right mindset. Leaders know that the foundation of learning starts in the brain. Carol Dweck, in her book Mindset, reveals that people with a growth mindset believe they can develop their abilities through effort and perseverance. This is a game changer. A study by Harvard Business Review found that people with a growth mindset are 40% more likely to succeed in learning new skills compared to those with a fixed mindset. So, how can you cultivate a growth mindset? Start by changing the way you think about failure. Instead of seeing mistakes as setbacks, view them as learning opportunities. Every time you fail, you're one step closer to mastering the skill. Remember, every leader, whether it's Steve Jobs or Oprah Winfrey, has failed along the way. They didn't let failure define them. They let it teach them. Another key mindset strategy is focusing on effort, not just results. Angela Duckworth's grit emphasizes that passion and perseverance, rather than talent, are the true predictors of success. Leaders with grit push through the tough moments. They understand that persistence is as important as skill itself. Practice isn't just about doing something over and over, it's about refining the process and learning from every step. A useful tool to develop this mindset is self-talk. Positive affirmations can rewire your brain to believe that you are capable of learning anything. As leadership expert John Maxwell says, you will never rise above the level of your own thinking. Reframe your challenges as opportunities, and your brain will start working in ways that help you grow. Chapter 2. Skill Stacking. The leadership edge in a world of specialists. If you want to be a standout leader, you need to stop thinking like a specialist and start thinking like a generalist. This concept is known as skill stacking. It's the idea that combining multiple skills makes you more valuable and unique. For example, if you master both communication and data analysis, you can become a powerful decision maker who not only understands the numbers but can explain them in a compelling way. The concept of skill stacking comes from The Art of Learning by Josh Waitzkin. Waitzkin, a world champion in chess and martial arts, used skill stacking to dominate in both fields. He combined his deep understanding of strategy from chess with the physical skills required in martial arts. Leaders can apply this by blending different fields of knowledge to solve complex problems more effectively. A study from McKinsey & Company found that employees with a diverse set of skills are 30% more likely to be promoted to leadership roles. Leaders who can navigate multiple disciplines have a unique ability to bring fresh perspectives and innovative solutions to the table. The key to skill stacking is to find complementary skills. Don't just learn random skills, choose those that enhance each other. For instance, a leader who combines emotional intelligence with technical expertise is able to not only lead a team but also understand their team members' needs and adapt strategies accordingly. As the famous writer and entrepreneur Tim Ferriss says, focus on being excellent in a few areas, but make sure those areas build on each other. Chapter 3. The 20-Hour Rule. Breaking the myth of mastery. You've probably heard that it takes 10,000 hours to master a skill, a theory popularized by Malcolm Gladwell. But what if I told you that you could become proficient in just 20 hours? That's the premise of The First 20 Hours by Josh Kaufman. Kaufman argues that anyone can learn a new skill to a functional level in only 20 hours of focused practice. And the best part? You don't need to be a genius to do it. The 20-hour rule is based on the idea of deliberate practice. Unlike regular practice, deliberate practice focuses on targeting your weaknesses and practicing them with purpose. Research from psychological science shows that focusing on one skill for short bursts of time, about 20 to 45 minutes, helps maintain peak performance and avoids burnout. This method is highly effective for leaders who need to learn quickly without overwhelming themselves. Think about it. 20 hours is less than 1 week of full-time work. You can break it down into daily 30-minute sessions. That's only about a month of consistent effort. If you're learning a skill that directly contributes to your leadership abilities, like public speaking or project management, 20 hours can get you to a level where you can perform confidently and competently. To make this work, focus on the essential elements of the skill. For example, if you're learning a new language, don't try to memorize every word. Instead, focus on the most common phrases used in conversation. Similarly, if you're learning to play an instrument, focus on mastering a few chords or scales rather than trying to play an entire song from the start. You might wonder, how do I know if I'm practicing deliberately? A simple rule. If your practice feels uncomfortable, you're likely on the right track. The discomfort comes from pushing your limits, which is where real learning happens. Leaders who embrace this discomfort grow faster because they're willing to step outside their comfort zone. Want more tips like this? Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for updates on how you can keep mastering new skills quickly. Chapter 4. Feedback loops on steroids. Harnessing peer power. One of the most powerful ways to learn a skill is by seeking feedback. Leaders know that their growth is often tied to the quality of the feedback they receive. The most successful leaders actively solicit input from peers, mentors, and even their teams. This feedback loop helps them adjust their approach and refine their skills in real time. Research shows that feedback is crucial for improvement. In fact, a Harvard Business Review study found that people who regularly seek feedback improve their performance by up to 40%. Feedback helps you identify areas of weakness and provides the insights necessary to get better. Without feedback, you're essentially flying blind. But not all feedback is equal. The best feedback is specific and actionable. Instead of simply hearing, you need to improve your presentation skills. Ask for concrete examples. Can you point out specific areas where I lost the audience's attention? By focusing on clear, actionable advice, you're much more likely to make tangible progress. Great leaders also know how to give feedback. By offering constructive feedback to others, you solidify your own understanding of the skill. In his book Leaders Eat Last, Simon Sinek argues that leadership is about creating an environment where people feel safe to give and receive feedback. This creates a culture of continuous learning and improvement. A powerful technique for creating effective feedback loops is to use peer review systems. For instance, in many tech companies, engineers will code a project, then pass it to a peer for feedback. This not only helps the individual improve, but it also strengthens team collaboration. The act of reviewing someone else's work also helps you learn faster because it forces you to think critically about the skill at hand. So, the next time you're learning a new skill, actively seek out feedback. It's a shortcut to mastery, and it's something every great leader uses to their advantage. Chapter 5. The Innovation Zone. Learn skills by solving real problems. The best way to learn any skill quickly is to solve real-world problems with it. It's one thing to study theory, but applying what you've learned in practical situations accelerates your mastery. Leaders often learn by doing, whether it's developing new products, leading teams, or finding creative solutions to complex challenges. There's a concept known as learning by doing, and it's supported by research. According to the Journal of Applied Psychology, individuals who engage in hands-on problem solving are able to apply their skills more effectively and retain information longer. In other words, experience is one of the best teachers. Look at someone like Elon Musk. He didn't just study rocket science, he tackled real-world engineering challenges with SpaceX. The problems he solved in real time forced him to learn at a breakneck pace. He once said, "I didn't start off knowing how to build a rocket, but I learned by solving real problems." This approach helped him gain expertise far quicker than traditional classroom learning would have allowed. This strategy works for any skill. If you're learning coding, try building your own website or app. If you're learning to lead, take charge of a team project and apply your leadership skills. The real-world pressure and responsibility force you to think critically and adapt. As the saying goes, pressure makes diamonds. A great example of this is Thomas Edison. He didn't just read books on electricity, he experimented relentlessly, learning from each failure and breakthrough. As he famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." When you apply your skills in the real world, you start seeing what works and what doesn't, which speeds up the learning process. By solving real problems, you're not just learning a skill, you're learning how to apply it in different contexts. This hands-on experience is what separates great leaders from those who only have theoretical knowledge. Chapter 6. Legacy Learning. Teaching others to cement your skills. The final step to truly mastering any skill is teaching it to others. As a leader, you've probably heard the saying, "To teach is to learn twice." It's true. When you teach, you not only reinforce your own understanding but also gain new insights as you explain complex concepts to others. Research from the National Training Laboratory found that teaching others is one of the most effective ways to retain information. Their study showed that people retain 90% of what they teach, compared to just 5% of what they read. So, the next time you're learning something new, consider teaching someone else what you've learned. You'll solidify your own knowledge in the process. Leaders who teach also create a culture of learning. By mentoring others, you pass on your knowledge and skills, which can lead to an empowered and high-performing team. Take Bill Gates, for example. He's been instrumental in spreading his knowledge about technology, business, and philanthropy through his foundation, and this has solidified his legacy as a leader. Teaching also forces you to break down complex ideas into simple, digestible pieces. This makes you a better communicator, an essential skill for any leader. As Dale Carnegie said in How to Win Friends and Influence People, the ability to simplify means to eliminate the unnecessary so that the necessary may speak. Another benefit of teaching is the feedback you receive. Your students will ask questions you may not have considered, which deepens your understanding of the topic. This feedback loop, similar to the one discussed earlier, allows you to refine your approach and become an even better teacher and practitioner. To teach effectively, remember that it's not just about passing on information. It's about helping others grow. As leaders, our role is to empower those around us, and teaching is one of the most impactful ways to do this. If you found these tips useful, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon so you never miss out on more ways to master any skill and lead with confidence. Your leadership journey starts today.